Okay, welcome back. Today we are going to cover another very important landmark judgment, that is the Menaka Gandhi versus Union of India, and the year here is the 1978, and it is famously known as the passport impound case. Passport impound case. So I will be talking about the right to life and personal liberty, means widening. We will see how the horizon of the Article 21 is widened, okay, or the broadened. And also this is also a very progressive judgment regarding the law, which should not be arbitrary, rather it should be fair, just and reasonable. So we will talk about this Menaka Gandhi case. Okay, so first of all we should know the issues pertaining to the present case, and issue number 1 here is whether the right to travel and go outside the country is included in the right to personal liberty guaranteed under Article 21. Means no person shall be deprived of his or her right to life and personal liberty except the procedure laid down by law. Means by making a law, by making a procedure, it can be taken away, but the question again arises whether the procedure which is made is that procedure fair, reasonable, just, or if it is an arbitrary, then it is not acceptable, then it is wrong, and it is against Article 21. So here let me tell you, there are two things. I have already made a session on this part, so I will not discuss this part here, the due process of law and procedure established by law. So I will not be talking right now, but I'll just quickly I want to talk about that. And the due process of law is in the USA, and the procedure established by law has been taken from the Japan. So by the procedure, rather if you will go to the due process of law, any law which is made can be it is further subject to the judicial review. Okay, further subject to the judicial review, and whatever the law is made has to be seen as the just, equitable, reasonable, and non-arbitrary. So this concept is there in the US Constitution, and this is the due process of law. But in the case of, I am just quickly summating, just trying to explain it. Okay, so and the procedure established law, by making the procedure, but now our country is now tilting, our judicial system is now converting from the procedure established by law towards the due process of law. Means now the law has to be in conformity with the fundamental rights, especially we talk about Article 19, 21 and Article 14, which are actually making the golden triangle. ये golden triangle form करते हैं, तो इसके बारे में भी यहाँ पर जिक्र किया जाता है, golden triangle. ठीक है, so they are intertwined with each other, and no single article can be changed or affected, which is against the principle laid down or enshrined in our preamble or the basic structure of the constitutions. Means they are interconnected, which intertwined with each other. So if you will touch one article, automatically the other article having some right will be affected. So this is what called the, this is I am just using this word. Now we are tilting from the procedure established by law towards the due process of law. तो हम अब due process of law की तरफ हमारा इंडियन जुडिशियल सिस्टम अब धीरे धीरे it is now tilting. So by the virtue of these progressive judgments, we find, okay, now we see, even in the Oliga Tellis case, I will be talking about that later on. So all these cases we find that Article 29, the widening of the horizon of the Article 21 is there, right to life and personal liberty, pardon, Article 21. Okay, so now the issue I have already talking about, whether the right to go outside, means abroad, or to travel outside the country is included in the right to life and personal liberty guaranteed under Article 21. So this is the first issue. The second, whether the Passport Act prescribes a procedure as required by Article 21 before depriving a person of a right guaranteed under Article 21. Means I have already said, please note that Article 21, if you read the Article 21, there they have written, no person shall be deprived of his or her right to life and personal liberty except the procedure laid down by law. Matlab, if you make a procedure, if law prescribes a procedure, then obviously yes, it can be, that can be done by the state, obviously by making a procedure or prescribing a procedure under that law. But the due process of law, what the due process of law says? Due process of law says that law should be just, reasonable, and it should not be arbitrary, rather non-arbitrary it should be. So it should provide some kind of procedure. So now we are talking about this judgment. So this is the second issue, whether it is means Passport Act is actually providing some kind of procedure or not. Now the writ petition was filed by Miss Menaka Gandhi, ma'am, under the Article 32. That is the you're going before the Honorable Supreme Court of India, Apex Court of India, by means of writ. Okay, so here this case is considered as a landmark case as it gave a new and a broader, wider interpretation of the meaning of life and personal liberty. तो यहाँ पर एक नया जो आर्टिकल 21 जो था उसको we have it is a katina of rights will come article in the Article 21. It is not only single, whatever it is written, you are going for the literal interpretation of what is written on the marginal part of the section or the main part of the provision. No. It can take within its ambit a lot more things. Are you getting what I am saying? I am just saying that there are so many. Right to livelihood will come within the Article 21 Oliga Tellis case. Okay, right to privacy, in the case Puttaswamy versus Union of India 2017, I suppose you have seen that. So right to privacy judgment, right to sleep, right to get the shelter, right to peaceful enjoyment of certain property, okay, a right to food, right to education. So is it not coming in the Article 21 and all? Article 21A separately have been created. So all these things, what is you are getting, the conclusion you are getting, the conclusion we are getting is that we have widened the horizon of the Article 21 के horizon को बहुत widen किया गया है, and it is very important to see how our judiciary, this is a part of the judicial activism also, you can say it's a part of the judicial activism also, it's a progressive view taken by our honorable courts to protect the rights of the citizens. This case is considered as a landmark case as it gave a new and the broader, wider interpretation to the Article 21, that is life and personal liberty. So law which prescribes a procedure for depriving a person of the personal liberty has to fulfill the requirement of Article 14-19, just, fair, reasonable and non-arbitrary. So this I have already explained to you. So Honorable Supreme Court expanded the horizon of the freedom of speech and expression, Article 19(1)(a), but let me tell you that Article 19(1)(a) it is not an absolute right. Part 3rd means it is subject to the reasonable restrictions laid down under Article 19 subclause 2. So in every article which is providing you some rights are not absolute. State can at any time impose the reasonable restriction based upon the morality, health and other kind of the grounds which are written in Article 19 subclause 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 even, like right to freedom of trade, Article 19(1)(g), it is further subject to Article 19(6). So is it what we can confer? Means these are not absolute rights, reasonable restrictions can be imposed. So I am just try to analyze the judgment actually. Now see, now we further go. So this is the expansion of the freedom of speech and expression, and the case saw a high degree of judicial activism, very important. Now the interconnections between the three article 14, 19 and 21, so I have already earlier explained to you that these are intertwined with each other. There is a bundle of fibers, there is an undercurrent flowing in these articles, they are interconnected with these articles, and this and all these are all the essential core element of the constitution, like secularism, like your fraternity, okay, brotherhoodness, okay, like the oneness, okay, and so many of the socialistic norms and all. So all these are there in these articles. There it is flowing just like a current flowing in a wire or a bundle of thread. So interconnections are there. You cannot deprive one person, you cannot take the right of one person, and if you are depriving 19(1)(a), so it is not only the 19(1)(a) which is affected. Article 14 will be automatically affected, Article 21 will be automatically affected. Means the connection is implicit in these articles. Okay. So it was finally held by the court that the right to travel to and to go outside the country is included in the right to personal liberty guaranteed under Article 21. So for right to go outside means going to the foreign countries, right to travel is your fundamental rights. Very beautiful judgment. Now very progressive view have been taken by our honorable courts in India. The case is a landmark judgment which played a most significant role towards the transformation of the judicial review obviously of Article 21 of the Constitution of India. And the new doctrine of the post-decisional theory, right? One more important thing, pre and the post-decisional. So sometimes in the question of the exams, sometimes they are asking post-decisional hearing. So you are supposed to ask the case. So mark the Menaka Gandhi versus Union of India means even the decision which you have taken, you should give the hearing to the party affected. or any party to whom against whom the decision have been given, yes, still the papa, if the pre-decision before the decision any hearing is not given, then the post decision hearing must be given. So this is what the doctrine of post decisional hearing was also evolved in the present case, and the most significant interpretation was made on the interconnections between these three articles 19, 20 and 21, the golden triangle. Again I am repeating, it was finally held by the honorable court that the right to travel and go outside of the country is included in the right to life and personal liberty guaranteed under article 21, and the court held that mere existence of any or an enabling law which was not enough to restrain personal liberty, and any such law must be just, fair and reasonable. तो कोई भी लॉ बनाया जाए वो ना केवल सिंपल एक प्रोसीजर प्रोवाइड किए वो करे, वो प्रोसीजर ना केवल मतलब जो भी प्रोसीजर वो प्रोवाइड कर रहा है वो प्रोसीजर फेयर भी होना चाहिए, जस्ट भी होना चाहिए, रीजनेबल भी होना चाहिए, एंड इट शुड नॉट बी नॉन arbitrary. So this is what we have covered in the very important judgment, that is the Menaka Gandhi versus Union of India, and I think I have sufficiently make you people clear. Please mention in the comment box section if I was to improve something, please tell me, let me know how can I improve it, and always you are free to write the comments in the comment box sections. God bless to all. Please subscribe the channel so that you will get the regular updates. As and when I will get the time, I will be keep uploading and give you the my understanding of law. Okay, thank you and God bless. Okay, welcome.